Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air. Multiple suspects charged in the death of Friends star Matthew Perry, including 2 doctors. Also, Hurricane Ernesto growing stronger tonight. The danger now to the East Coast. And we remember a Hollywood legend tonight. First this evening, the sweeping arrest in connection with the drug-related death of actor Matthew Perry. Federal prosecutors naming 5 suspects tonight, including 2 doctors. One doctor allegedly texting, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay." Prosecutors say they saw the Friends star as a payday. Matt Gutman in Los Angeles. Hurricane Ernesto taking aim at Bermuda now. The hurricane warnings expected to grow stronger. The danger to the East Coast and the other storm system moving into the Northeast, helping to hold the hurricane at bay. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan has the new track tonight. President Biden and Vice President Harris making their first joint appearance since she rose to the top of the ticket. Biden and Harris celebrating what they're calling an historic deal, cutting drug prices for millions of seniors on Medicare. 10 common and expensive drugs, and tonight here, the new prices. Just before we came on the air tonight, Donald Trump saying he is entitled to make those personal attacks on Kamala Harris. And Rachel Scott asking Trump about what he said about American workers in that interview with Elon Musk. Tonight in the Middle East, the tense ceasefire talks now underway amid a deadly raid in the West Bank and a grim new milestone in Gaza. Inside Russia tonight, Ukrainian forces some 21 miles in. Images reportedly of more than 100 Russian soldiers allegedly captured by Ukrainian troops. Tonight, President Zelenskyy now saying Ukraine is setting up a command center in an occupied Russian town. Back in the U.S., the economy tonight, the stock market bouncing back, making up for all of those dramatic losses last week. Today alone, the Dow soaring more than 550 points. For the first time since a foiled terror plot, Taylor Swift back on stage, but the unprecedented security tonight. The American Airlines flight making an emergency landing. Passengers reported hearing a loud boom and what they noticed in the cabin. And tonight, the tributes for actress Gena Rowlands. So many movies over several decades. The movie with her own son directing, The Notebook. Tonight, Gena Rowlands in her own words and what it was like having her son as director.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night. We begin tonight with those sweeping arrests in the death of actor Matthew Perry. 5 people, including 2 doctors, and Matthew Perry's personal assistant, all arrested, accused of conspiring to provide Perry with the ketamine that killed him. Authorities say they saw Perry as a payday. The 5 accused of taking advantage of Perry's addiction. One doctor allegedly texting, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay." For 10 seasons, Perry made millions of viewers laugh playing Chandler Bing in the wildly popular Friends. But behind those laughs, he waged a grim and painful battle with addiction. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman leading us off tonight from Los Angeles.
Tonight, that stunning development in the death of Friends star Matthew Perry. Federal prosecutors charging 5 people in connection with the fatal overdose that killed the 54-year-old.
These defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. In the end, these defendants were more interested in profiting off Mr. Perry than caring for his well-being.
Last October, Perry was found dead in the hot tub of his Los Angeles home, the medical examiner determining he died from the acute effects of ketamine. Today, the U.S. attorney detailing what he called a broad criminal network responsible for illegally distributing large amounts of the drug to Perry.
Over 2 months, from September to October 2023, they distributed approximately 20 vials of ketamine to Mr. Perry in exchange for $55,000 in cash.
At the center of the operation, Jasveen Sangha, an alleged drug trafficker known as the Ketamine Queen, and licensed medical practitioner Salvador Plasencia, known as Dr. P.
Defendant Plasencia saw this as an opportunity to profit off of Mr. Perry. He wrote in a text message in September 2023, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay."
Court documents show that just days before Perry died, his personal assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, paid Dr. P $21,000 in cash. The doctor then injecting Perry with a large dose, though he knew Perry was in trouble.
Plasencia saw Mr. Perry freeze up and his blood pressure spike. At another point, Plasencia admitted to another patient that Mr. Perry was spiraling out of control with his addiction. He knew this was wrong, and he knew he was risking Mr. Perry's life.
And yet they continued to sell.
And yet they continued to sell it.
Perry's personal assistant pleading guilty to one count of conspiracy, admitting to authorities he repeatedly injected Perry with ketamine, even injecting that fatal dose. Documents showing the assistant injected Perry with at least 3 shots of ketamine the day Perry died, starting at 8:30 a.m. And before administering that last dose, the documents say Perry asked his assistant to shoot me up with a big one. The assistant later found Perry face down in the hot tub. 2 others, including another doctor, pleading guilty to charges related to distributing the drug. Ketamine is a common anesthetic which is legally used for treatment-resistant depression, but it's also abused as a recreational drug with euphoric and psychedelic effects. Perry writing in his memoir, ketamine felt like a giant exhale. A year before his death, the actor speaking to our Diane Sawyer about his decades-long battle with addiction.
Addiction, the big terrible thing, is far too powerful for anyone to defeat alone. But together, one day at a time, we can beat it down.
Yeah. Your disease is just outside, just doing one-arm push-ups, just waiting for you, waiting to get you alone.
And David, a short time ago in that courthouse, Dr. Placencia pleading not guilty. He faces up to life in prison if convicted. And Jasveen Sangha, the so-called ketamine queen, she faces up to 120 years if she's convicted. She also pleaded not guilty. Earlier today, the family of Keith Morrison, who is the stepfather of Matthew Perry, put out a statement saying they remain heartbroken by the loss, but they hope that justice takes its course. David.
Matt Gutman leading us off from Los Angeles tonight. Matt, thank you. We turn now to Hurricane Ernesto, growing in strength at this hour, taking aim at Bermuda now, churning in the waters off the east coast, and the threat now to the east from this. Ernesto gaining strength over the warm waters of the Atlantic, now a very large storm. You can see it there, several hundred miles across. Let's get right back to Chief Meteorologist Cecily Tynan from our Philadelphia station, WPVI, back with us tonight. Good evening, Cecily, and I know you've got the new track for us.
And David, after drenching Puerto Rico, Hurricane Ernesto, it's back over open waters. It's slowly strengthening and it's heading north. So hurricane warnings are in effect for Bermuda, where Ernesto is expected to pass close by on Saturday, bringing widespread flooding, hurricane force winds, and a dangerous storm surge. And that storm will also really churn up the Atlantic. So high surf, rip currents all on board for the East Coast right through the weekend. So here's the setup. The front that's bringing severe storms to the Midwest tonight, well, that heads to the east. So what that does, it kind of nudges Ernesto out to sea once it passes Bermuda, but it also brings clouds, showers, and thunderstorms for the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic over the weekend. So the weekend forecast includes that threat of rip currents, and for the South, summertime warmth continues. David?
Cecily Tynan of WPVI back with us tonight. Thanks, Cecily. We move on to the other news tonight, and President Biden and Vice President Harris making their first joint appearance since she rose to the top of the ticket, celebrating what they're calling an historic deal, negotiating lower prices for millions of seniors on Medicare. Tonight, what is on the list? The expensive drugs and their new prices now. Here's our senior White House correspondent, Selina Wang.
Tonight, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris appearing side by side for the first time since she replaced him at the top of the ticket, touting an administration victory, lowering drug prices for millions of seniors with Medicare.
In the United States of America, no senior should have to choose between either filling their prescription or paying their rent.
Standing together on stage in Maryland, the president saying Harris understands what seniors are facing.
Kamala and I both get it. We know it isn't just about health care, it's about your dignity.
For the first time, the government negotiating directly with manufacturers, lowering out-of-pocket costs for seniors prescribed these 10 drugs, Xarelto and Eliquis to prevent strokes and blood clots, Jardiance and Januvia, which treat type 2 diabetes, Farxiga for people with chronic kidney disease, Entresto to stave off heart failure, Enbrel for arthritis, Imbruvica for blood cancers, Stelara for Crohn's disease, and Fiasp and Novolog, both insulin products for diabetics. The new prices, which go into effect in 2026, expected to save Medicare and taxpayers billions. A 30-day supply of the blood thinner Eliquis currently has a list price of $521, now negotiated down to $231, savings that will be passed on to seniors. Cancer patient David Mitchell travels to Canada for the generic version of Eliquis because it's so expensive at home.
The savings are going to be tremendous. Instead of having to pay $129, I'll pay something in the range of $50.
While support for Harris has grown among younger voters and other key demographics since she's entered the race, she has not gained ground with seniors. Biden at her side today trying to change that.
Folks, I have an incredible partner. The progress we've made, she's going to make one hell of a president.
And David, Kamala Harris next to Biden today, but on her own tomorrow in North Carolina as she tries to define her own candidacy. She'll tell the American people about her plan for the economy, proposing a federal ban on price gouging on groceries and up to $25,000 in down payment support for first-time home buyers. David?
Selina Wang at the White House for us. Selina, thank you. Meantime, just before we came on the air tonight, former President Donald Trump holding a news conference saying in his words he is entitled to make personal attacks on Kamala Harris. The new national poll showing this race is a dead heat, with Vice President Kamala Harris now tied or leading now in several key battleground states. And our Rachel Scott tonight asking Trump about what he said this week about American workers in that conversation with Elon Musk.
Tonight, as Vice President Kamala Harris prepares to unveil her plan to crack down on price gouging at the supermarket, Donald Trump trying to undercut her message.
Kamala is reportedly proposing communist price controls. She wants price controls. And if they worked, I'd go along with it too, but they don't work. They actually have the exact opposite impact and effect. But it leads to food shortages, rationing, hunger, dramatically more inflation.
His comments coming as inflation hits a 3-year low. Today, Harris's running mate accused Trump of rooting for failure. I asked the former president about that.
Governor Tim Walz is out on the campaign trail today, and he's been saying that he believes that you want things to get worse so that you can campaign on it, that you're rooting for failure. What's your response to that?
I wish I didn't have to do this. She's going to ruin our country. Going to ruin our country.
I also asked Trump about his controversial comments about striking workers, what he recently told the billionaire Elon Musk.
I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay, you're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone.
You praise how he treats workers, saying they go on strike and you say, that's okay, you're all gone, so every one of you is gone. Are you really comfortable with companies threatening to fire workers who go on strike?
Well, no, I want companies to get workers that are going to love them and work for a wage that lets the company make a profit so they can go and expand. Elon wants to run an efficient company, and if he has to he got rid of a lot of people on X, or former Twitter. A lot of people gone, and it still works. It still works. So you got to run the company productively.
In the rambling news conference, the former president again hurling personal attacks against Harris. Some of his own Republican supporters have begged him to stay focused on policy. But today, Trump making it clear he's not going to change.
I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence. And I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird.
And this is Donald Trump's second event this week, focused on the economy. His advisors really trying to get him to stay on message. But the former president making it clear tonight that he is not backing away from those personal attacks on Vice President Kamala Harris, saying flat out he just does not have a lot of respect for her. David.
All right, Rachel Scott tonight. Rachel, thank you. ABC News will cover the Democratic National Convention in Chicago next week, beginning Monday in prime time, streaming on ABC News Live at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then right here on the network, 10 p.m. Monday night. Overseas tonight in the Middle East, tense ceasefire talks are now underway amid a deadly raid in the West Bank. At least one person was killed and several others wounded when armed Israeli settlers attacked a Palestinian village. The Israeli military making one arrest, condemning the violence. And Hamas now calling for retaliation as the conflict in Gaza reaches a grim milestone. The Hamas-run health ministry tonight reporting the death toll has now reached 40,000. They say that includes 11,000 children. In Russia tonight, Ukrainian forces are now some 21 miles inside Russia. And this evening here, the images reportedly of more than 100 Russian soldiers allegedly captured by Ukrainian troops. Tonight, President Zelenskyy now saying Ukraine is setting up a command center in an occupied Russian town. Here's our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, tonight.
Tonight, dramatic scenes of what Ukraine's security service says is the capture of more than 100 Russian soldiers yesterday. The location and date of the video obtained by Reuters hasn't been independently verified. It comes as Ukraine claims to have pushed over 21 miles inside Russia. occupying over 440 square miles of territory. President Zelenskyy declaring Ukraine is now in full control of the small town of Sudzha, 6 miles from the border inside Russia. Zelenskyy said Ukraine's military is now setting up a command office in Sudzha, suggesting they may be planning to stay longer term. But tonight, the Kremlin's pouring reinforcements into the fight, even pulling some troops from eastern Ukraine to shore up the home front. Russia's defense ministry releasing its own video purportedly showing Ukrainian prisoners of war being marched off by Russian soldiers. Prisoner exchange already being discussed. David, as you know, the United States has been Ukraine's strongest ally throughout this war, and yet it appears it was kept in the dark about this operation before it began. And astonishingly, even tonight, the Pentagon's saying it's still looking for guidance from Ukraine about their true intentions for the Kursk offensive. David?
Ian Pannell in London tonight. Ian, thank you. Back here in the U.S. tonight, and good news on the economy. A rally on Wall Street now making up all of the ground lost last week in those dramatic losses. The Dow gaining more than 550 points today alone. It came on the news that retail sales rose 1% in July, more than double what was expected. Weekly jobless claims fell more than forecast, and the news, of course, on inflation now falling below 3%. When we come back here tonight, the American Airlines flight making an emergency landing. Passengers hearing a loud boom, what they're saying. The new headline from Walmart tonight and their new prices. And we remember a Hollywood legend tonight. In London tonight, Taylor Swift resuming her tour for the first time since that foiled terror plot in Vienna. Swift performing before more than 90,000 fans at London's Wembley Stadium amid extremely tight security, including police and private security specializing in counterterrorism. Here in the U.S., an American Airlines flight from Charlotte to Windsor Locks, Connecticut, making an emergency landing. Passengers say they heard a loud boom, followed by a strong smell of smoke in the cabin. The plane diverted to Raleigh. The cause still under investigation tonight. When we come back here, Walmart and the new plan tonight on prices and remembering a Hollywood legend in her own words tonight. To the index, and tonight, Walmart is cutting prices amid slowing inflation. Walmart now says it has dropped prices on 7,200 products. Target and Walgreens recently cut their prices as well. When we come back tonight, Gena Rowlands in her own words, so many movies and, of course, The Notebook, directed by her own son, and what she said about that. Finally tonight here, remembering actress Gena Rowlands. Actress Gena Rowlands celebrated for her raw, dramatic roles and powerhouse portrayals of women in America, starred in giant Hollywood and small independent movies for 7 decades. Her film debut, High Cost of Loving, in 1958.
You're wonderful.
She would later team up with her husband, legendary director John Cassavetes, for an incredible 10 movies across 4 decades, earning 2 Oscar nominations. First, A Woman Under the Influence in 1974, written for her by her husband.
Tell me what you want me to be, how you want me to be. I can be that. I can be anything.
Her second Oscar nomination for Gloria in 1980, about a woman who helps a young boy escape from the mob.
Come on, don't hang back. I'd love it.
The couple would film their independent movies with low budgets, often in their own house, with their children home and watching. Their 3 children would all go into show business, their son Nick going on to direct, including the romantic blockbuster The Notebook in 2004. His mother, Gena Rowlands, one of the stars in the movie, portraying a wife battling Alzheimer's.
It's a beautiful story.
Yes, it is.
I don't know why, but it makes me feel sad.
And this was Gena Rowlands on working with her son.
It was easy. He directs much as my husband did. He just loves actors. And, you know, when you feel loved, you're liable to do some of your better work.
And it was her son who revealed just 2 months ago his mother has been battling Alzheimer's herself for 5 years. Gena Rowlands passed away overnight at 94. Tonight, in her own words, the power of acting and the stories she was able to tell.
I began to realize that you didn't have to just live one life. You could be a lot of people. I love movies because I love the variety of how many lives you could lead.
Gena Rowlands, in her own words tonight, an incredible body of work. I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.